Victor Langston lived a life most only dream about, a titan of industry, his name synonymous with success. He built his empire from scratch, money flowing in, his penthouse towering above the city. Victor and his wife Vanessa were the ultimate power couple, their lives a parade of luxury and headlines. Lavish parties, private jets, magazine covers. On the surface, it was a fairy tale. But beneath the glamour, something was missing. The foundation of Victor's world was ambition, an endless hunger for more. Money, fame, power. He never paused to ask if he was truly happy. His worth was measured in dollars, his success in skyscrapers. Victor mastered deals but failed at love. His marriage to Vanessa was more partnership than passion. They shared a home, not a life, two ships passing in the night. Victor was married to his work, blind to the emptiness growing at home. He believed having everything meant being everything. But as he climbed higher, he lost sight of what mattered. The home he was meant to share became empty, quietly and slowly. He was winning the world, but losing his soul. Victor's story wasn't just about triumph, it was about what ambition can cost. The applause faded when the lights went out. Beneath the surface, cracks were forming. He didn't see them until it was too late. Sometimes, the greatest loss is the one you never notice happening. And Victor was about to lose it all. Victor's world began to crumble with a market crash no one saw coming. His fortune evaporated overnight, investments turning to dust. A risky deal, meant to be his masterpiece, collapsed, betrayed by a trusted partner. The media, once his cheerleaders, now called him reckless. His reputation burned. Victor Langston became a cautionary tale. The private jet, the cars, the penthouse, all gone. He wandered empty halls, a king without a kingdom. The silence was deafening, each echo a reminder of loss. He was powerless, forced to watch his empire vanish. The city lights mocked him. Memories of success, now wounds. Victor, once in control, was now a spectator to his own downfall. The man who had everything faced the reality of having nothing. The fall from grace was swift, brutal, and lonely. In losing it all, Victor discovered how fragile success could be, and how quickly the world forgets its former kings. Amid financial ruin, Victor suffered the deepest blow. Vanessa left him for another. Her departure was final, leaving Victor utterly alone. The penthouse became a tomb of memories and regret. He was haunted by echoes of a life lost, pain a constant ache. Victor had failed as a businessman, a husband, a man. He drifted through days in a haze, consumed by shame and worthlessness. The mirror showed a stranger, a broken man. He had flown too close to the sun, now his wings were ash. One rainy afternoon, facing eviction, Victor felt the end had come. He was a ghost in his own life, invisible to the world. The weight of sorrow was suffocating. He was at rock bottom, staring up at an unreachable sky. Sometimes you must lose everything to see what truly matters. Victor's lowest point was not the end, but the beginning of something new. In the darkness, a faint hope flickered, and Victor, for the first time, was ready to change. With nowhere left to go, Victor wandered the city and stumbled into a small church. The pastor spoke of grace, forgiveness, and second chances, words Victor desperately needed. Reverend Michael saw not a failure, but a man in pain offering kindness and a listening ear. For the first time, Victor shared his story, finding comfort in acceptance. He learned his worth wasn't tied to wealth. That conversation was a ray of hope. Victor moved into a modest room, sold his last watch, and took a job washing dishes. The work was humbling, but each day he scrubbed away pride and rebuilt himself. He found community at church, started learning new skills, and rediscovered his passion for building. No longer chasing risky deals, he invested in himself. Slowly, he laid a new foundation, this time on humility, faith, and hard work. The climb was slow, but each step brought Victor closer to the light. He learned the value of honest work and true connection. The emptiness began to fade, replaced by purpose. Victor was no longer defined by what he lost, but by what he was becoming. Redemption was possible, one day at a time. The journey was far from over, but hope had returned, and Victor was finally moving forward. As Victor's confidence grew, he found purpose mentoring young entrepreneurs at a community center. He shared lessons from both triumph and failure, teaching that true success is about making a difference. Helping others brought him a joy he'd never known. One day, Vanessa reached out, seeking a second chance. Victor met her with forgiveness, but chose to move on. His new life was too precious to risk. His world was now modest, but rich in friendship, faith, and meaning. Joy came from seeing others succeed, peace from quiet moments of reflection. He had found a success that couldn't be measured in dollars. Years later, Victor spoke at a business conference, not as a fallen tycoon but as a man redeemed. Real success, he said, isn't what you accumulate but what you give away. It's about purpose, faith, and the grace of a second chance. I am wealthier now with nothing in my pockets than I ever was as a billionaire, because my heart is full. Victor Langston's story is proof that true wealth is found not in what you have, but in who you become. Redemption is possible for anyone willing to change, and sometimes losing everything is the only way to find yourself.